Continuing, we are now on sample problem number 3. Sabi dito, if the wide flange beam is subjected rather to a shear of 20 kilonewton, determine the shear force resisted by the web. So, ang tinatanong lang ay yung shear na nararanasan ng web. Actually, medyo komplikado to no? So, symmetrical yung figure natin, yung neutral axis natin ay nasa gitna kasi symmetrical siya. So, dito yung ating neutral axis. This is our NA. Ngayon, yung crack mangyayari dito, so, ang mangyayari dyan is kukunin natin yung maximum, no? Okay? So, pero ang question sa atin kasi ng problem is resisted by the web. Ang tinatanong dito is yung amount of force na kine-carry ng section na to, this section. Okay? So, hindi hindi yung buong width or hindi maximum. Okay? So, para makuha natin yan, so yung shear force resisted by the web, that is equivalent to the average shear stress ng web multiplied by the area ng web. Okay? Again, this is the average shear stress ng web multiplied by the area ng web. Okay? So, ang goal natin, hanapin yung average shear stress ng web. And that is, dapat makuha natin yung shear stress dito sa point na to at yung shear stress na point na to. Diba ang minimum or yung pinakamababang shear stress na nakukuha ng ating web ay nandito sa pinakadulo. Kasi habang lumalayo ka sa neutral axis, lumiliit yung shear stress. So, yung pinakamababa ay nandito at yung maximum ay yung nandito. So, kunin muna natin yung shear stress dito sa pinakamababang point. So, kunin natin yung shear stress at point A, which is equivalent to the B, Q at A ay B. So, since andito yung neutral axis, kunin muna rin natin yung ating moment of inertia. So, I is summation ng I plus AD squared. So, yung ating web naman naka-align doon sa ating neutral axis. So, wala tayong problema dyan. Ang kailangan nating hanapan ng distance ay itong dalawang flanges. So, ang distance nitong flange na to, ito yung ating D. Okay? So, D, let's call it D1. Pareho lang yan nung D dito. And that is, kung ito hanggang dito ay 150, kalahati ng 300, tapos kalahati pa ng 20, then D1 is equivalent to 160. Okay? So, let's solve. I now is, unahin natin, let's say this is our section 1. So, ito magiging section 3. And ito ay section 2 naman yung ating web. Okay? Next. So, for section 1, our moment of inertia is the base is 200, the height is 20 cube over 12 plus the area is 200 times 20 and yung D1 natin ay 160 squared yan. Since symmetrical lang naman itong ating top flange tsaka bottom flange, i-multiply na lang natin yan by 2 plus, okay? Then meron naman tayong web, yung area 2 natin. Ang base naman niya ay 20 mm. Ayun. So, yun yung lapad ng rectangle dito. 20 mm. Ang height niya ay 300 mm cube over 12. Wala siyang 8. May area siya pero wala siyang distance kasi naka-align sa neutral axis yung kanyang neutral axis or yung center of gravity niya rather. So, naka-align. So, 0 yung D. Kaya ito na lang yung ilalagay natin. So, our I is 200 times 20 cube. Actually, may ibang technique dito kung saan negative area naman yung gagamitin natin. Ima-minus natin yung area na hollow. Okay. Pero, ganun lang din naman. Di naman tayo magsosolve ng matagal. I-calculate na ba? Okay, plus meron tayong 20 times 300 cube over 12. So, this is 250.0667 millimeter to the fourth. Okay? So that is our I. Kunin naman natin yung Q sa point A. Ano yung magiging Q natin kay A? So that is the area ng A, 200 or yung area nito. Assumingly na ito yung hihiwalay sa atin kasi ang crack ay na kay point A nandito. So ito hihiwalay ito, no? Okay? So pag humiwalay yan, the area is 200 times 20 multiplied by y. Yung y natin is yung atin ding 160. So our QA is 200 times 20 times 160. We have 640 times 10 raised to 3 millimeter cube. Di ko na ilagay yung ano nito. This should be times 10 raised to 6. Okay? So, meron na tayong Q at A. Pwede na natin ma-solve yung minimum shear stress. That is V. Ang shear daw natin ay 20 kN. So, that is 20 times 10 raised to 3 newtons multiplied by Q. Our Q ay 640 times 10 raised to 3 millimeter cube divided by our I na 250.667 times 10 raised to 6 millimeter fourth plus ang lapad ng shear natin dito kung ito yung crack that is 20 millimeter. So, actually yung 10 cube pwede na nating alisin yan. Meron tayong dalawang 10 cube that is 10 to 6. So, units cancel na to. So, Newton millimeter squared and our shear stress is 20 times 640 divided by 250.0667 rather times 20. We have 20 cancelable pala eh. So, 2.5593 megapascal. Okay? Yan ay kay point A pa lang. Kunin naman natin yung sa maximum. Pag maximum na yung pinag-uusapan, ang crack natin ay nandito na. So, ang area na mariremove sa atin ay ito. Okay? So, ang problem nito, paano natin kukunin yung Q sa neutral axis? So, madali lang yan. Hatiin pa rin natin dito. Tapos, kunin natin yung Q ng bawat isa. Yung Q na itong nasa taas, alam na natin yan. 640 times 10 to 3 millimeter cube. Yan yung Q ng nasa taas. Ito namang Q ng nasa baba na to, 150 times 20. So that is 150 times 20. Yan yung area niya. Yung y bar niya kalahati. So that is 75 mm. So yung Q natin ngayon sa neutral axis will be 640 times 10 raised to 3 plus dagdag tayo ng 150 times 20 times 75 and 865 times 10 to 3 millimeter cube. So, yung pagkuha ng Q&A pwede rin nating hiwa-hiwalayin yan, ano? So, para lang din Barignos theorem talaga yan, okay? So, actually, Barignos theorem nga talaga yan. Moment of area, static moment of area, no? So, Barignos theorem lang din yan. Nawala lang yung y bar, nawala lang yung ano dito, area y bar. So, yan din yun, Barignos theorem lang din yan. Okay? So, kunin na natin yung tau max. So we have here the maximum shear stress or the maximum shear force muna tayo. 2 times 10 to 3 Newton. Then our Q, 865 times 10 raised to 3. Ang liit. Millimeter cube. Divided by our I, 250.0667 times 10 to 6 millimeter to the fourth. Then, ang lapad ng ating width ang lapad ng ating crack ay 20 millimeter. Cancel na to. Tanggalin na yan. So, our tau max is just 865 times 10 to 3 divided by 250.0667. We have, parang kay taas. 865. Naka times 10 to 3 ko pa kasi. Okay, this is 3.4591 megapascal. So, i-drawing natin yung ating magiging stress distribution dito. Kung okay lang kahit kalahati na lang kasi hindi maganda itsura nito. So, ito yung ating neutral axis, kalahati na lang yung drawing ni Sarah. Okay? So, ito yung ating reference line. So, at this point, sa point A, ang shear stress daw natin ay 2.5593. So, assume na lang natin na nandito, 2.5593. So, from 0, always 0 yung shear stress dito ha. So, magiging second degree parabola yan. Then dito sa gitna, this is 3.4591 megapascal. So ito ngayon, parabolic din pag ganito naman, n is equal to 2. So yan yung stress distribution natin dito. Ngayon ang pinag-uusapan natin ay hindi naman yung maximum, hindi yung minimum, kundi yung average. Pero ang average nito ay hindi divided by 2 lang kasi parabolic ito. So the average shear stress natin, yung shear stress na to, okay? Yung average ng ating parabolic segment, that is 2/3 ng magiging height. So yung height na tinutukoy ay ito, 2/3 nito. Okay? So ano yung height ng parabola natin? The height of the parabola is 3.4591 tapos hanggang dito. Yan yung haba. So minusan natin ng 2.5593. So ang h ng parabola natin is 3.4591 minus 2.5593. We have 0.8998 megapascal. So the average ng parabola, hindi pa yung average shear stress natin ha, that is 2/3 ng 0.8998 which is 0.5999 megapascal. And para makuha natin yung pinaka-average shear stress, magsisimula tayo sa 0, i-measure natin hanggang dito sa gitna ng ating parabola. So ito yung shear stress average natin. So yung shear stress average natin ay nabura. Yung shear stress average natin is yung distance nito, di ba yan ay 2.5593. So that is 2.5593 plus yung distance na to hanggang dito, that is 0.5999 megapascal, or the average shear stress doon sa flange is 2.5593 plus 0.5999. We have 3.1592, okay, megapascal. And this is the average shear stress. Yung isang ginagawa ko naman minsan, ang ginagawa ko lang is yung average shear stress, yan ay yung tau max minus 1/3 ng height. Pero ganun din kasi yan. Ganun din naman yung makukuha. Kailangan mo pa rin kunin yung height, kunin yung 1/3 nun. Same lang din. Binawas ko lang yung side na to naman. This is yung 1/3 naman ng h. Okay? Pero pareho lang. Now, since meron na tayong average shear stress, pwede na nating makuha yung nararanasang force ng web. So, yung B sa web natin, that is equal to 3.1592 Newton per millimeter squared multiplied by the area ng web. Ang total area ng web natin ay 300 times 20 yung thickness. So that is 300 times 20 and this is millimeter squared. So yung average force na kinikerry ng web is 3.1592 times 300 times 20. This gives us around 18,955.2 newtons, or the B on web is 18.955 kilonewton, which is roughly around ilang percent kaya ito ng 8 ng 20? That is roughly around 94.775% actually nung ating total load na 20 kilonewton. So that's it for this problem.